Hey, and welcome once again back to Cap Social Network, everybody, aka Capri Social Network. So, in today's video, I wanted to talk about toxic in-laws. As a matter of fact, how many of you that may be married or may have even been married before this divorce now may have dealt with a toxic in-law, maybe toxic mother-in-law, for not using toxic mother-in-law, toxic father-in-law, because there are also usually toxic father-in-laws, although people hardly ever talk about the toxic father-in-laws. One reason why is due to how there are more people that have more closer bonds to their mothers as opposed to their fathers, and by it being so many single parent households usually ran by Black mothers as a part of data and statistics anyway. And I digress. You may have happened to be at some family functions and may have had that either that brother-in-law, sister-in-law, mother-in-law, father-in-law, either or show you some of the most utmost love or whatnot. May go out of their way to fully embrace you, may even used to call you either father, well, not father-in-law, son-in-law, daughter-in-law, brother-in-law, sister-in-law, so on and so on. Only for them to see you out and about somewhere after being just embracing you, showing you how, you know, they may accept you or have accepted you into their families already, only for them to act all funny style to you. If you may be by yourself while shopping at a local store, they may happen to see you or go the opposite way just to avoid from speaking to you, or either may speak to you but go greet you just to show you it's no hard feelings. They won't hold a conversation with you. However, prior to bumping into you, so to speak, at the store or whatever, they may have seen you out while by yourself during a family function. They were a whole completely different person. They went out of their way to hold conversation with you, offer you a few drinks, and you may be a person that's a drinker or a smoker, may have offered you a cigarette or whatnot, and just poured out their hearts and souls to you, you could say, while being at the family function. Showed no sign of dislikeness towards you. However, if that may have came a time after that, once again, when you may have ran into them somewhere else other than at the family function while shopping, it could be whether it's shopping at the grocery store, at the mall, they may act all funny style towards you. You know, they may greet you if you were to greet them, but they may do it in a dry, very dry tone of voice. Or how about dealing with either toxic father-in-laws or mother-in-laws that you may happen to tell, if you may be having problems with either your husband or your wife, and you may want to talk with them personally about the problems you may be having with either your husband or wife. You know, you may end up confining them to the extent that you may look at them as being a person that could be able to counsel you whenever you may be having trouble with either their son or daughter, only for them to, after you were to spill the tea to them, so to speak, or tell them all word for word the problems you're having with their either daughter or son, go telling their daughters or sons verbatim what you may have said, all the problems you may have said are existing in your marriage, only to lead to that much more confusion between both you and your spouse, and eventually the two of you, in the worst case scenario, divorcing. Because whether you know it or not, people, one of the biggest reasons I look at it from this perspective, that people divorce is not just due to lack of intimacy along with finances, but it could also be due to, for the most part, toxic in-laws. You know, that in-law that may not have never accepted you from the start. Although they may claim, if either your wife or husband may have a talk with them, if you complain about the issues they may have with you, they may, after talking with either their daughter, their son, their sister, their brother may make it seem like they have nothing against you when deep down inside they do. And on behalf of all the people that put so much confidence in their in-laws, confine so much in their in-laws, in other words, develop such close relationships with their in-laws to the extent where they may start hanging out more with their in-laws, or may even go as far as getting drunk with their in-laws, getting high with their in-laws just to be accepted by their in-laws. Your in-laws will never ever fully accept you, whether you know it or not. Or even if they may fully accept you, those same in-laws, if you were to pass away and they were to hear about it, wouldn't even much think enough to either come to your funeral or put flowers on your grave. May act like, you never ever were married to either their brother, their sister, their son or daughter. Anyway, I wanted to provide some clips on behalf of toxic in-laws. All clips, by the way, are courtesy of the social media platform TikTok on behalf of toxic in-laws. And there will be several clips, by the way, that I wanted to show you on behalf of a TikTok content creator by the name of Spiritual Whistleblower. And this woman, I just wanted y'all to know, she does not bite her tongue. She is very vocal, has no filter, tells it completely like it is. If you guys may want me to attach her TikTok handle on how you can be able to follow her on TikTok, I would be glad to have the wonderful privilege of doing so right down below in the description box. I also wanted to show you another TikTok content creators on behalf of how she says how fickle in-laws could be. In other words, how they may, before you may marry their either father, son, brother, sister, they may act like they're so likable towards you, or they're so much for you that they have nothing against you at all. I want them to marry either their son, daughter, brother, and sister and do a complete 360 on you. Act all funny style towards you. May act like they don't want you being part of their family or marrying to their family under any circumstance. Anyway, these are the clips I'm about to show you guys. So here they go.
About the Jocasta complex, okay? What is a Jocasta complex? It's when a mother has a sick sexual connection to her son. She has this nasty codependent enmeshment with her son. She thinks her son is her replacement surrogate husband. See, she's been ran through, fucked through, dogged by her ex-husband, her boyfriends, and all that from the past, and she's lonely and miserable. So she will treat her son as her replacement boyfriend, and she will attack any good woman that tries to come into her son's life and make him a better man. At this point, it's up to the man to cut his mother off, to elevate and start a new life with his queen. The Bible says a man is supposed to cleave to his wife, not his motherfucking mammy. Ladies, if you feel there's something inappropriate or his relationship with his mama doesn't feel right, get the fuck out immediately. You guys wanted me to talk about signs that your in-laws are narcissists. Well, for one, when you first meet your in-laws, they're going to be on their best behavior. But rest assured, every last one of them already know that your partner, they know your partner is a liar, cheater, abusive asshole. You have yet to find out. The entire family also knows that you're currently being cheated on and your relationship will come to an end due to the cheating. They all know this ahead of time. They will smile in your face, and they will be these goody two-shoe Christians that go to church every Sunday. None of that matters. They may even have good jobs. Their phony asses hide behind all of that. The bottom line is they have no moral compass. They're trash. The women are jealous of you and they hide it. And the men in the family secretly want to fuck you, and it will help to destroy your relationship as well. Not only that, they'll turn on each other and throw each other underneath the bus. They love the side chick more than you. Signs that your mother-in-law is in fact a narcissist. She's two-faced, and she's also taught her son to be very two-faced. This is what we call triangulation. If you notice your mother-in-law will play you against her own son, your man, she will sit up and listen to you complain about her son and agree with you, tell you that her son ain't shit. Then she'll run and go tell her son everything that you said. She wants to be the gatekeeper. and build an alliance with her son while making you look like the bad guy. Also, too, she will team up with all his toxic ex-girlfriends, including his toxic baby mothers, because birds of a feather flock together, and she has more in common with the toxic women of his past than she does with the good woman that's trying to make him a better man. His mama is in secret competition with you. She's threatened by your beauty, your accolades, your success, your salary, all of that. She gossips about you behind your back to other family, and she's cool with his side chicks, by the way. I'm deeply involved with the man. You need to find out if he comes from a family that has a crabs in a barrel mentality. If you don't know what the term crabs in a barrel means, I'll explain it. If you can picture a barrel full of live crabs and they're all clawing at each other, at the top of the barrel, there's going to be crabs trying to climb out of the top. But they can't climb out the top because the crabs that are underneath them keep grabbing up and pulling them down, preventing them from escaping the barrel. Now apply this to a whole toxic narcissistic family of abusers. You don't know it yet, but the guy that you're dealing with is a narcissist. And his parents and siblings, aunts, uncles, the whole lineage is fucking damaged beyond repair. They're all very dysfunctional. Of course, when he brings you to meet them, they're going to be on their best behavior. They're going to be smiling in your faces, pretending to be loving Christians, churchgoers, law-abiding citizens. They've got the script rehearsed down to a T. They'll even go as far to call you daughter-in-law, sister-in-law, to, make you feel all good and make you feel all special. But what you don't know is they call all the girls that. They call all the side chicks that. They call all the baby mamas that. None of y'all are special. The men in his family are womanizers, woman beaters, cheaters. They have side babies, side families. They're no good men. And they've definitely rubbed off on the man you're with. You just don't know it yet in the very beginning. And your man is going to be on his best behavior. And the women in his family are a bunch of pick-me's. They're desperate male-worshiping women. They will allow a man to get away with cheating, lying, being deceitful. Like they're terrified of people talking about them because they can't keep a man. So they tolerate unnecessary abuse in order to keep a man. And guess what? They've taught the guy that you're dealing with to have the same low-down values. So when he brings you to meet them, they're going to be wondering in the back of their minds if you are low down and trifling just like they are. This is where the guy that you're dealing with will test you in various ways once you are secure in that relationship. He will begin to destroy you, tear your self-esteem down, compare you to other women, cheat on you, just to see if you will tolerate it for the sake of clinging on and saying you got a man. But if you are a woman with morals and you don't tolerate his cheating or disrespect, there's going to be a problem. The family is going to dislike you. You will never fit in because you're not willing to be a doormat. See, his family will be threatened of you because you have the potential to pull him out of that toxic dysfunction and level him up and push him to be a king. His toxic dysfunctional family does not want that. They want him in the bottom and miserable like the rest of them. If he is not man enough to cut them off, get rid of him.
You just throw that next to my kid's head?
Toxic mother-in-laws, because toxic mother-in-laws will always make you feel like you're in competition with them, competing for their son's love, competing for their son's attention. Look, lady, we are not in competition with you. We want you to accept us and not reject us, because the moment you reject us, then you're going to wonder why we don't show face to family functions, why we don't want to be around you, and why we don't like you, because you're mean to us. If you accepted us, then you would make your life easier, your son's life easier, and my life easier. My ex's mom was the devil. She never gave me a chance from the start. From the very start, she didn't like me. She would cut me out of family photos. She would bring up the ex in conversations we would have, and she would invite the ex over to family functions just to get under my skin. So I want to tell you something, men. If your mom is toxic and mean to your girl, you are either going to have to set your mom straight or cut your mom off, because you are not going to marry your mom and you are not going to have kids with your mom. And if your mom loves you like she says she loves you, she needs to learn to accept your partner and not reject her.
So,
okay, welcome back once again. So about the person on the TikTok content creator that I was mentioning right before I started showing the clips about how fickle not only people can be, but how in-laws can be. Listen closely as this lady goes into detail about it. By the way, this is her name. If you also like to follow her on TikTok, I would be glad to also have the awesome privilege by attaching her TikTok handle inside the comment or description box. Once again, guys, make sure you like the video. Make sure you comment on it. Let me know what you think about this topic, whether you may have dealt with or maybe still dealing with as of right now or as of currently toxic in-laws in some shape or form. Share the video so this video could be able to get more traffic. And my channel, the handle of my channel, by the way, is at Capri Social Network 1261. Last but not least, subscribe to the channel. And goodbye, guys.
What I'm about to say, first of all, no hate to the original creator. I hope you find a woman that is okay with your family values and the conditions you create for y'all's marriage. With that aside, for us women who choose and desire to be the only queen bee in your home and in your marriage, this is the type of man to stay far away from. And if you come to discover that he is that type of man in engagement, I'm gonna go ahead and say it, cut off the engagement. It's so much better to walk away from an engagement to a man who has that kind of value as opposed to walking away from a marriage after suffering in the hands of him and his family. And not even to be one of them girls who got engaged or married 2 seconds ago and now became a marriage advisor, but for personal experience as an Igbo woman who has encountered other women, listened to other stories from divorced women who've really been through some stuff, and as a woman herself who has been through some things with these men out here, trust me, it ain't even worth it. Some men, and especially some African men, Igbo men, have a really weird relationship with their mothers. Don't get me wrong, it's great and it's wonderful to have a very close relationship with your mother. But when it gets to a point that that mother is putting you in a position where it's either your girl, your woman, or me, that's ridiculous. And I honestly don't think that you should wait until marriage for that man to completely, put you first as his wife or as the woman that he intends to marry. If he's showing you prior to marriage signs that his mom comes first, or her preferences and her desires come before your own, honey, you are going to spend the remainder of your marriage competing with his mother. You are going to be in a marriage with this man and his mother, and God forbid a miserable marriage like that. Some women really go crazy dealing with that. And obviously it comes down to who you are as a woman. I just know with the kind of personality I have, that would never fly. Some women can manage that situation, but know yourself and know the men you're marrying and know the family you're married into. Don't set yourself up for failure. And last thing, don't be afraid to put your foot down early. For me, myself, and I didn't want to come into a situation giving people a false understanding of who I am and how I operate. If this is how I intend to run my home, you're going to know that from the jump so that there's no surprises in marriage and nobody's confused. And the thing is, human beings are so fickle. The family can like you today, and then while you're in marriage, develop a dislike for you. So what's most important? If that man is able to stand 10 toes down beside you, regardless of whoever says anything against you, that man's a keeper, and that man is worth committing to. If he's wishy-washy and it's sometimes mama and sometimes you,